Okay, in this video, we'll go through use case example where IoT is used and where we are still using the current way. Basically, we'll make a comparison of what we are doing and what we will be doing in the near future. So by now, the main features of working out IoT solutions should be understood. The approach towards open systems, the importance of data, multi-purpose device, application independence, information from various sources, and the role of analytics. And this is in contrast to the mindset that this is my problem, and to solve it, I deploy a device and I connect to get some data that I visualize. Basically, this is the point solution approach. So that's what we are trying to, go beyond. We are looking for what? We're looking for multi-device. We're looking for multiple devices, multiple solutions. We mentioned it in the previous video. So let's look at a specific example here. So in order to illustrate this, we provide a fictitious illustrative example taking two different approach to this solution. So we're doing the traditional one. Actually, it is what many companies are doing right now. And we also look at the real, maybe more real, Internet of Things app. So the example here is personal well-being. So the personal well-being focus here is the stress. Okay, it is shown that close to 50% of high risk from the enterprise workforce are stress related. Yeah, I think it is also related to students on campus, right? Excuse me. And the stress was the single highest risk contributor in a group of factors. They also include high cholesterol, overweight issues, and high alcohol consumption. What it means here is that stress can also make you get sick more easily. So basically, we want to monitor the stress level, and also we want to help people to reduce their stress, right? So now let's look at what many people are doing right now. So for IoT, okay, so some people think about, okay, using an IoT solution, no problem. So IoT, we need a sensor. Okay, there are two kinds of sensors that may be used. So we have the heart rate and also the galvanized skin response. Basically, it measures whether you are sweating. So if you sweat, then your body resistance will be lowered, right? So it assumes that if you are stressed, then your heart rate will change, maybe higher, and your GSR will be more active. When they work on this, they think, okay, but when people are doing exercise, their heart rate will also increase, and they will be sweating, so their GSR will be higher. So we want to avoid such confusing scenario, or we want to identify such confusing scenario. So they also add the accelerometer. Basically, it measures the activity level of a person in the wearable device. So now we have heart rate sensor, GSR sensor, and accelerometer in a device to measure. And also, there will be an application server. Basically, it is you can consider it to be a data processing server that holds the necessary functionality to analyze collected data. Basically, you can plot your heart rate, plot the GSR, plot the accelerometer on the website or on the smartphone app. So basically, the whole idea looks like this. So you have a device here. So it takes measurements, and the measurements will be uploaded. So, okay, interesting. The measurement will be uploaded usually through the smartphone to the server or to the doctors, right? So that you can plot the chart here. Also, you can look at the chart on the your phone app. Basically, it measures the movement. It measures the excitement. So it's related to your heart rate and the GSR data. Yeah. So does this sound familiar to you? So right. So that's basically what many people are doing right now. So you have a device to measure something of your, for example, the heart rate is very typical, and they also measure your blood pressure, measure your sleeping, something like that. And then it is uploaded to somewhere. And then you can plot your chart and then watch your data. Very typical nowadays. This type of solution is limited to a few measurement modalities and can only provide very limited information about what actual causes of stress or excitement. First of all, modalities. So it means in this case, it means different types of sensor data. So in this case, in this example, we have only the heart rate, the GSR, and also the accelerometer, 3 types of modality. So it does not sound very small number, but when we come to IoT solution, you feel it is really small. Okay, and also, if we record the data and plot the data like this, okay, we may know that, okay, I feel stressed at that time. But more importantly, we want to find out why I'm stressed at the time. And so that I can, make myself, so that I can avoid those situations, so that I can make myself happier. But with the current setting shown here, you don't know, you can hardly figure out what are the causes for your stress. For example, if you find that, okay, I'm stressed at this time at 9 p.m. yesterday evening. So what happened at the time? So I don't have any idea. So I can only know I was stressed at the time. But what happened? So if I don't know what happened, then next time I don't know how to avoid it or how I can accommodate, right? So causes of stress is in daily life, such as family situation, work situation, cannot be identified. So in that case, so if you have a daughter or some experts that look at your data and notice that, you feel stressed, then they may do an interview with you, right? But at that time, you may have forgotten what happened at the time. And also your answer may be subjective. And also interview is a costly and labor intensive process. So basically it will take you and the doctor a lot of time, and you may not be able to find the causes, so that you will not come up with a solution. So that's the current setting, current situation of, a typical so-called IoT solution. But what we are looking for is something like this. Approaching the same problem situation from an IoT perspective will be to add data that provide more deeper and richer information to the person's contextual situation throughout the day. Some key points here. So it's deeper and richer information. Basically, in addition to the sensors, the 3 sensors, we need more information, not only sensors, but also information sources. We will see what they are, what they can be. We need the contextual situation. And also we need all day monitoring. Okay. Because for the previous example, if you use this device, you cannot wear it all the day, right? You don't even take your mobile phone all day. But for the IoT solution, it will look like this. So we still need to have the wearable device here, but we also look at other things. For example, the leisurely activities, the work environment, work activities, weather and environment, because stress, you know that it is also associated with the weather, right? Some people will feel, I believe many people feel happier when it is sunny. I'm one of them. And also the home environment and activities, for example, the home temperature. So if it is too hot, so it definitely you will feel stressed. And also commuting experience, right? So if the traffic was always bad when this guy is driving home, so he will definitely feel unhappy. So with this figure, you will notice that in addition to the wearable device itself, we can obtain information sources from other aspects. So an example smartphone application that provides stress analysis feedback will look like this. So for example, at this time, it is blue. It is green. Green, assume it is maybe it is not bad, or maybe it is feeling not stressed. So with the information sources list here, he can identify, okay, at this point, he's happy because he was relaxing evening with family. So that's quite happy. For this part red, so we don't know what happened. But basically for every status, okay, we can find out a reason or of course why the guy was stressed or why he was happy. Okay, so work out at the gym, nice, so not stressed. Put him on the bed, reading cozy. Okay, so something good. So with the information sources above, so we can tell, we not only know whether the person was stressed or not at that moment, but we can also learn about the causes. Another example is that, so we monitor work activities there, right? Here, right? So for example, if that guy was receiving many emails on that day, why he was planning to do his homework. Actually, this happened to my wife. So she has a full schedule of work that day, but she has been receiving a lot of email for other issues. So she was quite angry that day. Okay, this is related to work activities. So if we can monitor this, so we can also tell why the person was not happy that day. So at this moment, we should have identified the causes for stress. We can do some proactive and preventive analysis. So we will include not only experts, human experts, but we can also refer to the AI-based knowledge system. Because if many people are using this application, so the real person experts will not be sufficient, right? We need AI. That's why, remember that in the family members of the IoT elements, maybe a few videos before, we mentioned the AI. So it is important here because we will be out of human power if more people are using these applications. Okay, so after we know the causes, then we can propose actions to take to, make the person feel happy. For example, suggesting to lower the midnight bedroom temperature a few degrees so that he can sleep better, so he does not feel that stress the next day. Or maybe it can be more complex. You may need to deal with the entire work environment. Well, so for example, the restroom of the work environment may be not that pleasant, right? So something like that. So here, AI can also play a part here. So now before we move on, so let's come back to the two approaches. So for the simple approach, which many people are doing right now, so it can help, but the functionality is limited. But if we are able to integrate different information sources like this way, although some of them does not seem to be closely relevant, but if we put them together and develop some intelligent AI program analysis software, then we'll be able to find out the causes of stress and then provide more beneficial solutions. Okay, I hope that the previous example is helping you to open your eyes. Actually, it did to me, right? Because when I was reading the current application and current approach, so I feel, oh, yes, that's the way we are doing right now. So what's wrong with it? So but after I read the IoT approach, so I found, okay, it seems there are so many sources we can also use. So basically that from mode shift in the mindset when we move into the world of IoT. First of all, IoT solutions today have generally been focused on solving a very specific problem in isolation and mostly for the single stakeholder. So in the previous example, the single stakeholder may be the user itself, may be a little relevant to the doctor, but basically it is the user who wants to know his stress level, right? In that case, IoT solutions are hence often electrically vertical silos with no horizontal integrator connection with attestation case uses, and such an installation tend to be hard. So basically, this is what many people are doing right now, and we want to. They are not right or wrong, but just not enough. Okay, what we are looking forward is for the tool is a broader perspective of solving a larger set of issues. So a key future approach to our solution is to move away from the closed silo deployment towards something that is characterized by openness, multi-purpose, and innovation. So for example, if you have a temperature sensor in your house, right? Can you think of some applications it can be used? So it can be used for health monitoring, right? Just say health monitoring. And also it can be used for smart home applications. Also, it can be used for smart city because it can monitor the electricity usage of your house, and then the whole city can find a way to allocate the electricity resources in a better way. And that's just an example. Basically, we try to make use of the information and most of the time the sensor data for multiple purposes. Okay, there will be some steps to do so. So moving away from the isolated solutions, use of IPM-BED, multimodal sensing and integration data sources, insight into and automation technology, and horizontal layering of both technology and business. So so actually for nowadays, as people are installing more sensors and being able to collect data from multiple resources, actually many people are facing the problem of how to make use of those large amount of data. So that's what we call big data, right? So because as we have more data, we need to find out the knowledge inside the data. So that's another story. But here are the main steps of transiting into IoT solutions. So here is a table of comparison between the past practices and IoT practice. So also it sets past here. But actually in many cases nowadays, people are still using these practices. So if you can move from what people are doing now into what people should be doing in future, then actually that's the purpose of this class. Okay, thank you for your attention.